In this video, we're going to combine two of the previous videos. So if you find yourself unsure, go back and you can watch a video on distributive property, and you can also watch a video on combining like terms. But we're going to put these two things together to simplify some of these expressions. So in the first example, we have 4 plus 5 times the quantity negative n plus 2h. So whenever you see distributive property, you must first distribute. That should be the very first thing you do. So if you remember, when we distributed in our previous example, that just means we're going to multiply this term 5 times the items, or the terms inside the parentheses. So once I distribute, now this 4 is just going to be 4 because it's not having anything distributed to it. And then I'm going to multiply 5 times negative 9, which is negative 45, plus 5 times 2h. And remember, we're multiplying the coefficients times 5. So that would be 10h. Organize your like terms. Well, they're already organized because I have a constant 4, a constant negative 45, and then 10h does not have a like term. So that's already done. I am going to rewrite that plus negative 45 as just minus 45, and then plus 10h, and then add coefficients. Well, constants are not coefficients. They're just numbers that we actually know. So I'm going to combine 4 minus 45. Now remember, this is negative 45. So 4 minus 45 is negative 41. And we didn't combine 10h with anything, so it's still just plus 10h. And there's our solution for the first one. So let's look at number 2. Negative 5y minus 3 times the quantity negative 2y plus 7. If you do not see that this 3 is negative, this 2y, oh sorry, you should see the 2y is negative. If you don't see that this minus 7 is negative, please, I highly encourage you to go through and rewrite those subtractions as plus the negative number. Now this will help you because you'll also see when you first we have to distribute, because remember that's the first thing we do is distribute. When we distribute, we're actually multiplying times negative 3, so that'll help us with our signs. So distribute that negative 3. Now again, that minus 5y, nothing's happening to it. So I'm just going to bring it down to the next line. Plus, alright, let's do some multiplying. Let's distribute. Negative 3 times negative 2. Well, negative times negative is a positive. And 3 times 2 is 6, negative y. Negative 3 times negative 7, again, we have negative times a negative, that's a positive. 3 times 7 is 21. Organize your like terms. Well, they're already organized because I've got negative 5y and 6y, and those are like terms. Next thing I want to do is add the coefficients of my like terms. So negative 5 plus 6 would be 1y. However, we don't write the coefficient 1, so it'd just be y plus 21. And there is our simplified expression using distributive property and combining those like terms. Let's look at a couple more examples. Number 3, 6x times, or 6x minus 3 times the quantity 2 minus 3x. Again, if you don't see that this is negative, rewrite it as plus negative 3 plus negative 3x. That will help you. First thing you do after that, distribute. So don't do anything to the 6x. It just comes down to the next line of work. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. And negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9, and that's got an x. Organize your like terms. We will have to do some reorganizing because 6x and 9x are like terms. So I'm going to rewrite that. So the 6x and the 9x are together. And add the coefficients of like terms. 6 plus 9 gives you 15, and those are x's, minus 6. Nothing to combine with that minus 6, and there is my simplified expression. All right, number 4. Now, number 4 is interesting because you see this minus sign right here. This is actually a negative 1 out in front of the parentheses. So I'm going to have to distribute a negative 1. You can also think of it like this. If it's a negative in front of your parentheses, you have to change everything, all of your terms in your parentheses, to opposite of what they currently are. Or you could think distribute -1. So -1 times 2x is -2x. You want to think of this as plus -2, you can. -1 times -2. Negative times negative is positive, so that's plus 2x. Nothing gets distributed here, so it's just minus 6x. Okay, organize your like terms. Well, whoops, that should not be an x. I've got a minus 2x and a minus 6x, so I'm going to rewrite those. Minus 6x and plus 2. I'm going to add my coefficients, and remember, the 2 is negative, the 6 is also negative. So if you don't see that, rewrite minuses to plus negatives. So -2 plus -6 is -8x. Nothing to combine with the 2. So it's -8x plus 2. And that is your solution. All right, let's look at one more. Sometimes, if we want to be really tricky, we will see 2 sets of distributive property. Now, you don't have to get worried about this. You're just going to distribute this factor to this group and this factor to this group, and then combine your like terms. So it's just one extra set of distributing. Now, again, if you don't see that this is a -10, rewrite it to plus -10. If you don't see that this is a -6, rewrite it to plus -6. And same thing here. If you don't see this is a -4, rewrite it to plus -4. We want to get out of the habit of rewriting it like this, but for now, it's a good thing if you don't see those numbers as negative. So first thing, distribute, and I have to do this twice. So 4 times x is 4x, plus 4 times -10 is -40, plus, now this is -6 times x is -6x, and -6 times -4, that becomes positive 24. All right, now I've got 4x and -6x. Those are like terms. And -40 and positive 24, those are also like terms. So I've got 2 sets of like terms to combine. 4 minus 6 is -2x. -40 plus 24 is -16. I could rewrite this as 2x to the -16. That's how we would usually write the answers. And there is your simplified expression.